Well, sorry folks for being late. We took a nap, and because we spent the morning drinking mimosas, and at a dueling piano bar. Because today's Star's birthday. Oh, it's doing the thing again, isn't it? Whoop. Can I get it to? Oh, that's weird. It's focusing on my hands. Wow. So it's Star's birthday today, and it's Danielle's birthday today, and it's Kaya's birthday today. We welcome in the newest of the birthday twins, triplets, I guess, at this point. Kaya was born a little before 3 o'clock this afternoon, and she is a friend's husband's cousin? Something like that, right? So, but anyway, we were out partying with them, and we got the notice that Bambino, this is the universal sign for Bambino, right, had been born, and so so it's a thing. So there's, August 13th seems to be a thing. It's a big thing. So there's other people having birthdays today. We should toast them. So we have toasting glasses here, or tasting glasses from Cotton and Reed, and we need a rum to toast with. Wow, woefully unprepared for this. Star, is there a particular rum that you would like to toast with? What we are going to do today is we are going to talk about some sad news. We're going to investigate some cool things that we have received. And we are going to celebrate Star's birthday by mixing up some cocktails that I know are some of Star's favorites. So we're going to do all of that. And what is she reaching for? She's reaching for Bacco. We were astounded to find out that supposedly Bacco from the Dominican Republic is in fact a cane juice rum.
Yeah.
So it's not a rum agricole. It's made from cane juice as opposed to molasses, which it does not taste like an agricole-ish rum, at least not to me. But we should celebrate all of the various birthdays and other good occasions that are happening around this time.
Aloysius that is mucking with the focusing.
Well, I can't do anything.
I've locked it.
You've locked it now. So, and this is
maybe we'll play with it between broadcasts.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So this is the Bacco 5.
Uh-huh.
All right. So it's one of the younger expressions that they have. All right. So here's to birthdays, and
may there be more.
May there be more. May future birthdays be less stressful than the last half hour. This was not a good time for us to run into technical difficulties. Now that we're doing the broadcast, we're okay, but I don't know if you remember some months back, we were having troubles with the screen locking, and you were getting like a very narrow version of the broadcast.
This time you were getting it sideways.
You were getting it sideways, and we didn't think that you would like, having to watch us do, this way. I get a crink in your neck, although I guess rum's good for that, but, what isn't it good for, right?
Yeah.
It does not smell like an agricole.
172? How did we get to 172?
Yeah, how did we get to? It is true. It's 172.
Yeah. Wow.
So let's see. 52 is a year.
Right.
So we're 3.5 years into this thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a little under 3.5.
I think 101 is up on the YouTube now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the Bacco's good.
Yeah.
I just like the Bacco.
Yeah.
It does feel to me like there might be residual sugars in here, but I don't care. It works well. Tastes nicely. It's just good rum. So enjoy that. So what are we going to do this evening for cocktails? Well, I think it's just sort of important to recognize cocktails that your spouse loves and be able to make those cocktails. And she knows exactly what I'm doing when I say a cocktail she likes, and I am shaking up a jar of coconut cream. So she knows.
We have Elizabeth saying hello.
Yay, Elizabeth!
We have Don Kip saying, and we're live.
Yeah, the lighting is weird. So I'm getting like light, like this. No, I guess it's here. This patch of light on my face here, but I don't know if that's from this. Oh, it's just weird. Lighting in here is weird. We're gonna have to work on it. Anyway, but I am going to do this a little differently than a normal TradeWinds. So, with a normal TradeWinds, the drink is kicked up by a little bit of apricot liqueur. And the apricot liqueur and the coconut really work well together.
I was still reading comments.
Whoa, okay.
So Elizabeth says, and happy birthday, Star. Don says, Tommy's margarita in hand, ready for the show. Ruth says, greetings and happy birthday, Star. Don says, yes, happy birthday. Bruce says, happy birthday, Star. Susie says, happy birthday, Star. Freddie says, hi there, Star. Birthday greetings and happy cocktailing.
I'm so sorry it took us so long to get started this evening. It just.
And Elizabeth is excited for us to try this.
All right, so this is a bag of goodies we got from Elizabeth for Star's birthday. This is chocolates that nourished by Belgian Owl whiskey. So there's whiskey in these chocolates, which we could have just toasted with the chocolates, I think.
We could have.
Yeah, that would have been fun. If I can get... Oh, and it says Elizabeth Chocolatier on there. Okay, that's just totally cute. We'll never forget who these chocolates are from, because knowing me, I'm just going to keep the container forever, right? Product of Belgium. And there's the chocolates, and they're open. Ooh, those look yummy. Okay. Oh, they smell good, too. Better than incense. Now we have whiskey and chocolates on the bar. And then, moons ago, we gave this small thing of Mr. Black coffee liqueur to Elizabeth and Jerry. And Jerry was able to, well, use up that Mr. Black, and then procured some yuzu liqueur. No.
Lychee.
Lychee liqueur. That's what's in here. And we can't get this lychee liqueur, supposedly, anywhere around. So we are going to swap out the apricot for lychee. And I have been told by Elizabeth that this works really well. So we're going to do that. You want your TradeWinds shaken, or do you want it blended? She wants you shaken. Okay. She wants to see her man work for it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about here. So 1.5 ounces of this here coconut stuff. This does say Coco Real on it. As you probably know by now, I don't use Coco Real for the most part. I try and use Coco Lopez, and that's actually what's in here is Coco Lopez. I've just refilled this.
Use like the packaging of
the
Coco
packaging.
Real.
It's much easier to pour a pretty exacting amount from the Coco Real bottle. And the squeeze bottle works extremely well for liquids of this particular viscosity, which is, well, thick. So there's 3/4 ounce. We're going to add another 3/4 ounce. Now the other day I did go to the store to purchase more Coco Lopez, and they were out. And as a consequence, I got a second one of these that is actual Coco Real. So at some point we'll actually do maybe another taste test between Coco Real and Coco Lopez. We've done that in the past, but maybe it's time to revisit that. All right, I need a swizzle stick here so that I can scrape some of this out. That's not going to work because that doesn't have a straight edge on it. This does. Okay. All right. Get the coconut cream out of your jigger. There we go. Ta-da. Okay. And now the TradeWinds uses lemon juice instead of lime juice, which is good because we were a little short on limes today. But here we go, fresh lemon juice and a full ounce of it. And then if you really want to get the rest of the coconut out, you can kind of stir this around. The acid will kind of break up the rest of the coconut that's on your jigger. I feel that way full. The meniscus was pushing wanted to fall off, get everywhere. There we go. All right. Ta-da, there's the lemon juice. Now there's 1 ounce of the apricot, and we're not going to use the apricot. We are going to use the thing that says Mr. Black, but is actually lychee. And Elizabeth, cue me in here before I pour this in. 1 ounce, right? We're just doing a 1-to-1 substitution on the apricot to lychee. Let's do, yeah, we're going to do this. Doop, doop, doop. And then I need a blend.
Is this the J.F. Hayden's?
What?
I'm wondering which lychee liqueur this is.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yes,
No
1 ounce.
1 ounce, all right.
Gayoma.
Glug, 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 glug. 1 ounce. Lychee. Lychee, lychee, lychee. I need to grab another rum from the cabinet, so I will be right back, my friends, because we're doing a mix of black rum and light rum. And I know those words don't actually mean anything, light, dark, etc., except referring to the colors. But in the case of black rum, it kind of does mean something in particular. And we are going to use the Old Republic's Golden Plow Tavern Dark Rum for the black rum. Ugh. And a full ounce of that. Right, like such. And then you could use really any sort of blended white rum that you might want to use. Here we're going to use the Banks 5, which has Jamaican, Guyana, Indonesia, Trinidad and Tobago, and Barbados rums mixed into this. We're also going to go 1 ounce of that. Just like that. Ta-da!
Gayuma is a small batch craft spirit with blended lemongrass lychee from our vacuum distillation botanical library.
Well, that sounds pretty freaking yummy. Okay, do I have everything? The coconut, the lemon, apricot, in this case lychee, the black rum, the white blended rum, and now we need 12 ounces of ice here. And this should be pebble ice or crushed ice. It's appropriate. There's the top. I need to spend more time looking at the camera. Sorry, not doing that. There we go. Just gonna throw a big cube in there. Get a little more aeration. Pour this in here, like such. Just make sure that's seated. You don't have to make sure it's sealed, just seated in there. The vacuum generated by the cold air will actually seal this up for you just fine. You want your TradeWinds to be cold. And that's pretty darn cold. Okay, we need a cutting board, and we need a lemon. It's a pretty sad lemon, but it'll still do for our purposes. Not porpoises, purposes. All right, so we're going to take this, cut it like that, and then we're just going to cut a wedge out of it. Set those aside. We need a cocktail umbrella. A cocktail umbrella. My cocktail umbrellas should be right here. There they are.
You have one in your bag.
I have multiple in my bag. Our bag went with us when we went to Archipelago yesterday, which was partially for Star's birthday and partially because, well, we have news about Archipelago that is not happy. So we're going to do that. Right. Sounds good. We need to pour this in a glass. Let's try, sure. We're going to go with the Great American Road Trip Navy Strength mug.
Isn't that Hidden Harbors or is that Navy Strength?
That's Navy Strength. It says Navy Strength
okay.
right there. Yep. Stir stick. Stir this around a little bit. Yeah, that looks yummy. So open pour. As you get a little closer to the end here, you might want to gate the finish. What do I mean by a gated finish? Take a Hawthorne strainer at this point, put it over, and what you're trying to do here is make sure that you get all of the goodness of the cocktail in there, and you're not going to be able to do that with all of that ice. So let's see if we can get this done. put this on here like such. Send that through. There we go. The TradeWinds cocktail does have a canonical garnish, which is a cocktail umbrella that is turned inside out. Presumably the trade winds are blowing, and that is causing your umbrella to flip backwards. You'll need a straw for this, and we are going to reach for a big fat straw from Surfside Sips, because we can. I keep reaching for this one as the first straw for the last couple of weeks. So this is a purplish pink solid glass straw. It's pretty wide and just smooth on the outside. And there we go. We have a TradeWinds cocktail made with lychee instead of being made with the apricot. Do you want a taste of that?
Yeah.
Do you want a taste of the cocktail I just made for you? Which should tell you all you need to know about whether or not that's yummy.
Yum. Well, that's good.
There is just a little bit left in there, and I'm gonna make this the bartender's portion,
Yum.
which is, you know, about right on her birthday. Yeah, in terms of proportions. We ran off to Bobby McKee's today. They have a brunch once a month with dueling pianos, and we invited a few friends along, just a small group. Had a blast. They take your requests, provided you provide them with a little bit of money to go with those requests, and then play all sorts of music, and or make attempts to play all sorts of music, including a cover of one of an Eminem song, which was, you know, amusing. Not something you normally expect to see from piano bars, but
Yeah.
it all worked out. It was all quite fun.
If you don't wear glasses, you should be very careful of TradeWinds.
Or just
With very large umbrellas.
yeah, or just pull the umbrella out.
Yeah.
You know, you can do that.
Usually
There you
smaller umbrellas.
Yeah, and you know, if you're using the big umbrellas, also don't light your drinks on fire. This could be bad. Those garnishes are that would be something we would call garnish incompatible, I think.
Yes.
Is flames and umbrella. Well, hello, Dunder. Dunder is standing on the landing, and he is voicing his displeasure that we are down here. I don't know why, but he is. So there we go. TradeWinds. So I did say we had a little bit of bad news this week, and that really is good. The lychee does add something to it. That's nice. The lychee liqueur comes through very well. Makes me want to just take that one ingredient, the apricot, out and play with various other fruit liqueurs. You know, yuzu certainly comes to mind as a flavor to use in there. Passion fruit would be another one to play with. Or Pessoa. Use the Pessoa liqueur. You could also go for a red color and use the pomegranate pomegranate liqueurs, like the Pama. I'll bet that would be yummy as well. So there you go. So bad news. So the bad news is that the flagship tiki bar, what we consider the flagship tiki bar of the Washington, D.C. area, Archipelago, is going to go ahead and close its doors after 8+ years of being in business and being our favorite tiki bar, or certainly our favorite local tiki bar. So between property rent costs, lease costs, yes, money, between the costs of leasing, property values in downtown DC, and you know the sort of petty and not so petty crime rates that have gone up in DC. Might they open someplace else? They might, but for right now they're going to give it a break, and they're closing pretty much the end of the month. They're closing the 26th of August. So we're going to try and make it a couple more times. It was clear that people got the message, because apparently Friday night was insane, and Saturday we got there at 4 when they opened, and there was
a line.
already a line. And by the time we left early-ish evening, early to mid-evening, there was still a line out the door. So, I mean, it wasn't huge line, but there was consistently a line outside the door.
And Miss Elizabeth went with us.
Yes, Elizabeth went with us, and she had a good time. And we spent a considerable amount of money at their bar, which is a good thing, because they're good people. John and Haley and Stephen and Owen, we just love you guys. So we're going to miss you, and hopefully you guys will stay in touch with us, and we'll try and stay in touch with you. And, you know, we'll carry on in the absence of Archipelago.
Hi. Hey, so this is Lovecraft Cocktails. We're coming to you live from Archipelago. This is the last couple of weeks that Archipelago is going to be open, unfortunately. So we knew we had to stop by. We knew we had to say hi to the staff and, you know, express our condolences over them closing. I'm sure it's the appropriate move for them, but it's a sad move for Tiki and Tiki culture in DC. I don't know where we're going to go next after this, but you know, this is it. So good to know. We got here a little after 4 o'clock when they opened, and there's been a line that has extended at least to the corner, if not around the corner, most of the time that we've been here. I don't know what it's like now. They may have, no, there's still people out to the corner. So yeah, awesome. Guys, you know, I don't know where you are, but if you're in the DC metro area, stop by, let Archipelago know how much they mean to you, and how much they mean to the Tiki scene in DC. And, you know, maybe cross your fingers, we'll get them open again at some point. So, hey, it's Lovecraft Cocktails. I am very sad to say that for Archipelago, it's true, the end is actually nigh. So you still got another week and a half or so to get out here and see them. Actually 2 weeks, but please tell them how much you appreciate them, and peace out, brother.
All right, so there we have it. So Archipelago is unfortunately closing, and then just like 4 days later, we got the news that certainly the best tiki bar in the Hudson Valley, Fuchsia, is also shuttering its doors. They've been looking for a new location for about 18 months. Might they open someplace else? Never know, don't know. But it does mean that we are not going to get to make it to New Paltz in time to go back to that bar. So Anton and Lisa, we wish you all the best with whatever the next endeavor is, and we certainly hope we can get together with you at some point and talk things tiki again, because that was so much fun when we were up there last Christmas. So if you're in the New Paltz area, if you don't know where New Paltz is, think like the Poughkeepsie area. West Point is in that area, or at least close-ish by. Fishkill, a few dozen other little things in that area. If you're in that area, if you're in the area of the Culinary Institute of America, which is also up there, stop in. Go to Fuchsia. They do it right there, and they're just good people. So tell them how much they're appreciated, and have some wonderful drinks there. So we got hit with two of our top tiki bars closing. Two of the beer bars that mean something to us closing. So that's a little hard this week. But you know, we come right back. We celebrate Star's birthday. We have a good time. We had a great time at Archipelago yesterday. And Star is sucking down her TradeWinds, so it's about time that we think about making another drink for her, because we're apparently not making them for me tonight. Just kidding, just kidding. This is on top of many, many mimosas that she's already had, so we'll see how this evening goes for my poor dear wife.
I did have a nap between.
Yes. As I mentioned, we had a nap. This is part of the reason why we are late, is that we had a nap. No, that really is good. I should have done one with the lychee and one with the apricot, and we could have tasted side by side. So next up we're going to do a Saturn, because Star loves Saturns. It is it is distinguished in the tiki canon by the fact that it is a gin-based drink. And in fact, it's probably the gin drink that most people think of. if they know about tiki and they know gin drinks in the tiki pantheon. And so we're going to go ahead and do a Saturn. It is Star's birthday, like I said, so we are going to defer to her on a core decision about the Saturn. So the Saturn often uses a split of its syrup base. One of the cats just smacked the... All right, things are moving and shaking, it's all right. They often use a split base for their sweetener. They split the base between falernum and orgeat. We have made the Saturn doing a number of different splits, but sometimes what we do is we just kick the falernum completely out and we go with my orgeat. And Star's shaking her head. Yeah, she would rather have my orgeat in there than have even bitter truth falernum. So here's my orgeat. If you're not familiar, orgeat is essentially an almond milk syrup, and there are plenty of good orgeats on the market. There are also plenty of not so good orgeats on the market. It takes a little bit of work to make your own, but I find I really like just the process of making it and the fact that I have my own orgeat on hand. And so there we go. We've got some homemade orgeat. So the Saturn is generally considered a blended drink. So we're going to go ahead and do this. You can either do this in the blender or with the spindle. Usually if it says blend until smooth, that implies, you know, your sort of standard kitchen blender, but I like making them with the spindle. They're just a little more aerated. They're not quite as slushy, but I think that's okay. The Saturn does have one of those canonical, well, okay, it's not really canonical in that you see a lot of different garnishes for the Saturn, but it should be something that invokes the sort of space-agey theme or the planet Saturn itself. And often what we will do is we will split a cocktail cherry and put it on either side of like a dehydrated round of something for decoration. So we could do something like that and prep that ahead of the drink. What have we got here? Do we have anything that's really round-ish in terms of my dried bits? I don't know. We could use this, except, well, it's
missing a center.
It's missing a center, which would make it really hard for me to actually put something through it. So what about reaching down here? Okay, we could just do something like that and put a cherry through it. That'll be fine. Are you okay, hun, with Luxardo, or would you like me to go to the back and get you a Peninsula?
It's my birthday.
It's her birthday. She wants the Peninsula. All right. Hey, and I remembered that we might actually need some passion fruit syrup because it's a primary ingredient in this cocktail. So I remembered to get it while we got the premium cherries out. I'm so weak. Oh, there you go. My strength has been drained. I don't know by what. Cute cats. It's certainly, my hair hasn't been cut. I don't know. It's no Samson complex there. Alright, so there's cherry comes out. Oh, what the heck. Let's open that back up. We're just going to take this cherry, scrape off some of the goodness, and we're going to drop that right in there. Because I know her. She's going to want another cherry. You didn't see that. Oh man, that is so good. We occasionally hawk these. These are just amazingly good. These Peninsula Premium Cherries. We first had these at Captain Gregory's. In fact, Captain Gregory's is getting quite a reputation around here as a place where we are introduced to good cocktail ingredients. I think we got introduced to the Guapo bitters there. There was something else that we got introduced to, the Peninsula Cherries. Yeah, so it's just all kinds of good. They're all kinds of good. All right, so we need a cocktail pick for this. And I'm going to take this guy, which is reminiscent of a Saturn anyway, because it looks like he's got rings around his head. So we're going to do that.
I made that at in Ulele.
Star made this. It's a handmade creation. And Star made it, which means it actually looks cool, as opposed to me making it, which would be just a tragedy and a mess. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Not... There we go. Not the most coordinated here, but there we go. Here is our pick for the Saturn. What do you think? Will that work? That looks like it'll work. All right. The garnish has been prepared. Now it's time to prepare the drink. So we need a 1/2 ounce of passion fruit syrup or passion fruit juice. Well, this is passion fruit syrup, so this may come out a little on the sweet side, but we'll work on it. 1/2 ounce. 1/2 ounce. Where's my jigger? There's my jigger. 1/2 ounce. I'm going to make it a scant 1/2 ounce. There you go. And then we need just a half. Wait a second. No, let's do this again. Sorry, folks. Another scant 1/2 ounce. Like, what are you doing? I'm doubling the recipe is what I'm doing. Because I know us.
You want some?
I want some, right? So normally it's a 1/2 ounce of lemon, so equal portions passion fruit and lemon juice. So we're going to go a full ounce of lemon juice.
Keith says hi. Sorry, he's late.
Pouring that back in because that's not lemon juice. That's lime juice. I don't know what's up with today. All right, lemon juice. I even looked, right? I was like, do. I was getting ready to drop this in. I'm like, no, that says lime on it. So I caught myself. It's all right. I saw a recipe the other day that said, hey, don't have lemon juice? Fine, use lime juice for your Saturn. I'm like, okay, I guess, maybe. I probably should have done the orgeat before this. Normally it's a 1/2 ounce of orgeat. Actually, normally it's a 1/4 ounce of falernum, 1/4 ounce of orgeat. We're kicking that up to a 1/2 ounce of orgeat, so that's going to be a full ounce of orgeat. If you're wondering on how to spell orgeat, it's O-R-G-E-A-T, and pronunciations of that word are all over the place. Orgeat, orgeat, orgat. Orgeat is wrong, we know that. Orgat is wrong, but...
Orgeat.
Orgeat. In any case, that's what it is. My hands are sticky, and I don't want to get them all over the gin bottle that I'm about to pour from. We've worked with this gin before for this particular drink, and this gin comes to us from Los Angeles, and our our alcohol mule, who has now moved from Los Angeles here. So this is a London dry gin called Botanico, and it is produced by the Los Angeles Distillery. Gorgeous bottle. The gin is actually clear. It's the bottle that's blue, so don't fear that it's going to come out blue. So this would normally be 1 1/4 ounces. So that's 2.5 ounces, right? Okay. Yay, basic math class. I should say it's not entirely clear. There does appear to be a slight bluish cast to it as it's pouring. But I mean, it's virtually clear. And it is really yummy. We've had this a couple of times. What's in here? Juniper berries, angelica root, coriander seeds, lavender, ginger, lemon peel, orange peel, allspice, cinnamon, vanilla, and hops. Probably amongst other things. So that's kind of cool. I love the fact that they put that right on the side of the bottle so you know what you're getting. This doesn't require a whole lot of ice. Usually for a drink like this, it's going to require about 4 ounces of ice. So we're going to go with 8. There we go. And in true Martin Kate Smuggler's Cove fashion, we're going to drop a couple of larger cubes in there as quote-unquote agitator cubes. And then we're going to blend this for a while. So the rules are essentially blend until smooth. You're really not going to get smooth coming off of a spindle blender, but you are going to get this frothy, kind of creamy mixture, which is exactly what you want. Shall we pour this into, what do you say, the Wusong Road glass? Or
Yeah.
do you want one of the standard
No, Wusong Road.
Wusong Road? Unless down here, our dear friend Ms. Elizabeth picked up one of these yesterday. She picked up glassware from Archipelago because it's probably the last chance to get glassware from Archipelago. And this is their Kali zombie glass. And we're just going to use that. I'm going to do a really wide gate on this because I want all of the crushed ice, but I don't want the cubed ice that's in there. And lo and behold, there you go. Here's our garnish. That can just sit right there. We're going to need a straw for this. How about if we just go with a thin, so you've seen the thicker one that we just showed you. This is a thin straw. I'm not sure if you can tell. And this is shaped like bamboo. It's got these little regular ridges in it to mimic bamboo. And we're just going to stick that in there. And here is a double Saturn made with orgeat. Yeah, that's terrible. Or not. Yeah, so good, huh? Let's see what else we can do here. Boink on her nose. Boink, boink, boink on her nose. He's got cherry juice on her nose. So what do you think of that Saturn?
That's yummy.
We have also done a similar thing with the Saturn where we have swapped out the passion fruit for yuzu syrup, and that works extremely well as well. Also this week, I received this in the mail. This looks like a certificate, but it's not. Periodically, quarterly, it's not monthly.
Quarterly.
Yeah, it's not monthly. The House of Taboo puts out a magazine, and you can't really subscribe to it. You have to be notified that it's coming out and then say, yes, I want one, right? Is that still the case?
Yeah.
And this is, we've shown this before. This is Exotica Moderne. There. And they apparently have a pretty good relationship with like High Tide Records and that sort of thing. So you'll often get news releases about music groups like the Tentacles here. Tentacles are kind of fun, and especially with the theme of the
They
bar.
have their own recording
Do they?
company now. They're
Okay.
they don't have a whole lot, but they're starting to do their
But
own.
the Tentacles are part of it. You think? Maybe?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. And yes, there's a full page ad for the Tonga Hut in LA. So it's full color, all sorts of pictures, all sorts of ads for cool tiki places. There's always a section up front on music. So latest releases in Exotica and surf rock and other things. There's usually some form of article on going somewhere and seeing what tiki is in that city. Here is Trying to see what's on here. Obviously, I haven't opened this yet, so I'm like, what is this? The state of the American tiki bar scene, according to Beach Bum Berry. So that's. I'm going to delve into that one. Also, it's got the article with the Latitude 29 manager. Here's a Tiki Convention article, Louisiana Tiki Fest, books, book reviews. Here's an article on the Tonga Hut. Third Coast Tiki. I don't know what that is, but looks cool. And in the back, there's usually something about history, Tiki history. So this is the Tiki Time Machine, which has some staff writers working for it. There's often a home bar review, or not review, just interview with folks. Oh, look, there's Michael Ruhlman and Anthony Bourdain at Otto's Shrunken Head, right? So that down there, so it's a cool picture.
And the tentacles are on Taboo Recordings.
Okay, so there's Tiki Tidbits, so there's food recipes, and right in the back, cocktail hour, dun dun dun. So there's always a set of cocktail recipes in here. So what do we have? We have the Deep Six by Beach Bum Berry. 6 ingredients guaranteed to make a bottom feeder out of you. Caruba Dark Jamaican Rum, Hamilton 151 Demerara, fresh lime juice, pineapple juice, Latitude 29's Falernum, and St. Elizabeth Allspice Dram. On one hand, that sounds like a pretty straightforward cocktail. I mean, it's Jamaican and Demerara rum, lime juice. You've got some Falernum and Allspice Dram in there. Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. There's Tim Harnett from Tiki Underground. Tiki Underground is out of Cuyahoga Falls Falls in Ohio. And then we have Nick Elam doing the Hot Mummy from the Huli Huli. I must confess, I don't know where the Huli Huli is. And then we have the Funk number 44 by Gil Nisley, and I don't know Gil Nisley. Oh, look, Professor Bob mug advertised on the back. So, yeah, I'm hoping to delve into this in a lot more detail. Always looks like a fun read. It's a quick read. I mean, you're not going to be delving into this magazine for multiple hours, but always fun, always interesting. Star. I need a third cocktail to do this evening. You had suggested just doing a simple daiquiri, and we could do that. Or we could do something like, we don't have these exact rums, because we don't have the Caruba, but we could do the Deep Six if you wanted to try that. Or do you want something else?
You might make something you like.
I may make something I want. Okay. All right. Well, gee, I can probably manage to find something that I would like to drink.
As I hold up 2 drinks that I have not completely finished yet.
Not finished yet. All right.
I'm a little slow this evening, having pre-gamed yesterday and this morning.
Okay, well, we will not be following the same proportions of the Deep Six, because the Deep Six is apparently
A punch drink?
It is a 2-person drink. It says serves 2, but it starts with 4 ounces of Jamaican rum and then an ounce of 151. So we will not be making that at these specifications. This is also a ton of Falernum and Allspice Dram. So let's give this a try, but at different proportions, because I don't need to drink that much.
Okay.
But if we wanted to do a full-size Deep Six, what we could do is we could put it in the newest addition to the Tiki mugs, because we got
Tiki Shark.
from Tiki Shark the Shrunken Monk. Here you go, the Shrunken Monk. Look at this thing. He's got his fez. The fez has a little tassel on it. It says Hawaii on the back of it, and the Hang 10, right? Which is appropriate because I had the Hang 11 as my first drink last night at Archipelago. And from Mahalo Tiki, Shrunken Monk. It's produced by Tiki Shark, and I'm looking forward to this mug. It is a high-capacity mug. So we'll see what we can do. We'll see what a single version of the Deep Six is like in that particular mug. What? You want water? No, you want chocolate. She wants chocolate. Oh, we're gonna have to taste test the chocolates.
Yes.
We were warned that this is...
bite into this.
Don't bite into these. Just put it in your mouth, the whole thing. Don't like, oh, I will have half of this, because you will end up with whiskey all over you. So just shoot it, essentially. Burst of whiskey.
Whoa.
Does it say what proof the whiskey is? I don't think it does.
Woo!
Oof. Blessed by Elizabeth, nourished by Belgian Owl whiskey. I don't see a percentage on there. Hold on a second. Nope. All right. Here we go. The perils of chocolate and whiskey.
Those go together.
Those go yeah, that's a fine mix right there. That works really well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Other aspects of these cocktail recipes that you get, like I'm looking at this Deep Six and I'm like, that seems cool. There's a lot going on there in just those 6 ingredients because of the large amount that you have of the falernum and the allspice dram. But I almost want to play with it before I even get started. It does require pineapple juice, so it's going to make it a hit around here. So let me run to the back and grab some pineapple juice, and I will be right back. So let's start. What do we got here? We have 2 ounces of fresh lime juice. Okay, so we're going to cut that down to 1 ounce. We're going to cut everything in half. I think that's the right call here. It doesn't, let's see, shake with ice cubes. Okay, we can do that. Oof. It's a Secret Agent Man. We could have asked them to play Secret Agent Man. That would have been cool.
Could have.
Lime juice. Right, that's where I was. I was working on lime juice. 1 ounce lime juice. There you go. Having to do this a little out of order. 1 ounce. So this calls for 2 ounces of pineapple juice. So we're going to go 1 ounce of pineapple juice. I'm going to be smart here and use this rather than my fingernail, which would hurt almost assuredly. So 1 ounce pre-shaken pineapple juice. I hear you kitties up there. What are you doing? All right. Lime juice, pineapple juice. Let's put the rums in now. So we've got 4 ounces of Karuba dark Jamaican rum. Well, instead of the Karuba dark Jamaican rum, let's go ahead and use the Smith & Cross. Because the other Jamaican choice that I have up here right now would be the OFTD, which isn't a pure Jamaican. And, man, I really want...
What do you want?
I want a heavier Jamaican than the Smith & Cross, but I don't want the overproof necessarily. I'm a little worried that this is going to hit a little too hard with the Smith & Cross. So, we're going to go over to the rum rack. Dun dun dun. Let's see, not the unaged. Back here, the Appleton Estate 15 Black River. That's a little smoother than what I want. We got the Funk, but again, that's unaged. That's not what I want. We could do the Worthy Park. Oh, the 26% aged in continental weather. Oh, I think this is the call. Aged in the tropics, more than 4 years. Aged in Europe, greater than a year. Batched together, 57.18%. All right, and this would be 4 ounces normally, so 2 ounces. This is going to be a strong drink. That's okay, I have catching up to do. Because the brunch...
You did not have an unlimited mimosa package.
Right, the brunch came with unlimited mimosas, and both of our birthday girls, Danielle and Star...
As an option.
As an option, yes. Both of them partook. And as Danielle said, she was going to make them pay for the word unlimited. So there was that. I did not have mimosas. I had an orange juice. I think I had a Coke. that was it. I had a bunch of water, right? But then again, I was fine because I did serious service at Archipelago last night, so it's all good. Where are we? We're doing the Karuba rum, Hamilton 151. This would be a full ounce, so normally, we're cutting that in half, right? So that's a half ounce. All right, so that's not too bad. Half ounce. Half ounce. If you've noticed, I've gone away from having speed pourers on all the bottles I'm using. That's not because it's not a good idea. Putting the speed pourers on does make for a more even pour. I actually really like having the speed pourers on. Unfortunately, it requires both that I know exactly what I'm doing that evening, and it requires me knowing what rums I'm going to use. And it's already been demonstrated to you that neither of those things were true this evening, nor have they been for some number of episodes. So, deal. All right, next ingredients are the additions. So we've got the rums in there, we've got the fruit juices, the pineapple and the lime juice, and now the additions. So falernum. So they are asking for the Latitude 29 formula falernum. We do not have, but what we do have is Bitter Truth, and I love the Bitter Truth falernum, so that's what we're going to use. And this normally calls for 2.5 ounces. So that's 1.25 ounces. All right, so math. There's 3/4 of an ounce, and then a half ounce. And together, that should give me 1.25 ounces. See? Fractions, important. There we go, Bitter Truth falernum. There are other falernums out on the market, there are many, and you can make your own falernum. So falernum has got some ginger, some lime, usually some almonds in it. Really tasty stuff. This comes in at 18% alcohol, so it is an alcoholic beverage, just very, very light. All of those flavors are good. You can, in fact, depending on the falernum, when something calls for a ginger syrup, you can use falernum instead if you want to give it sort of a tropical, spin and don't necessarily want all of the ginger heat. So doing like a ginger, anything that requires, well, you know what you could do? Oh wait, the penicillin requires ginger syrup.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have to think about that one, buddies. All right, and then next up is allspice dram. We have several allspice drams lying around, and again, you can make your own allspice dram. I just haven't. This requires 1.25 ounces. Well, that's going to be a little hard because I've got to split 1/4 ounce. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go 1 ounce. And then I'm going to eyeball this. I really think the allspice dram could just take this over, so I'm just going to add a little bit there. Half of 1/4 ounce would, of course, be a 1/8 ounce, and 1/8 ounce markers are not on jiggers. All right. Oh, that's terribly yummy. Clove. What you get from allspice dram is heavy clove. Wow, that's tasty. All right, that's the straight up cocktail. That is the Deep Six as it stands. And I can't let it stand. I've got to do something else to this. So we're gonna go with some tiki bitters. Oh, this is fine because I'm probably a little short on the allspice dram. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 short dashes of the Bitterman's Elemakulele. No, that's Elemakulele. Elemakulele. Yep, Elemakulele Tiki Bitters. 6 dashes to go with the Deep Six. How's that? Right? 6.
Whoa.
Keeping the 6. All right, so we're going to throw some ice in here, like such. And it does say cubed ice. And I do trust the bum. So there we go. I know that sounds really weird. Like, it could be taken in so many different ways. Trust the bum. Have faith in the bum. I don't know. I do not know. Here we go. Shaky, shaky. There you go.
Brooke wanted confirmation that that was half of an ounce and a quarter.
That was half of an ounce and a quarter. Yes. So I did a half ounce, right? And
Right.
then I did somewhere between the half ounce and the bottom of the jigger. Probably a little light on that. And then I added the 6 dashes of bitters to make up for that. All right. Double checking, shake with ice cubes, pour into a deep 6 bowl available from Cocktail Kingdom.
Oh.
Add additional ice to fill, serve with long straws resting in straw notches at the top of the bowl. We're not going to do that. We're going to pour it into the Shrunken Monk, like such. Hello, is there a drink down there? This is a big mug. This is a big mug. Okay, I'm going to add a little of the crushed ice to this, mostly because it looks so lonely down there. So I'm going to put that in there, like such. I'm going to have to stick a big old straw in that. And we're going to go with one of my favorites, but I don't dig out very much. So this is also from Surfside Sips, and if you like any of these straws, you too should go to Surfside Sips or attend a tiki convention where they're going to be at and buy straws from them. And if you're ordering online and you want a discount, you can use our promo code. That's LOVECRAFT. I was trying to remember if it was all caps or not. It doesn't matter, as I recall. So Lovecraft, and if you do that, you get a discount on your straw purchase. We get a small amount of kickback from that we use to purchase our own straws. Mind you, that's not enough to discount all of our straw purchases because we purchase a lot of straws from them. I think this requires some sort of... Yeah, I think it requires something special here. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to use that. And so what is that? So this is just like a little tiki torch. That's what that is. It's a tiki torch swizzle. What's cool about the tiki torch swizzle is that unlike many other swizzles where if you get flame anywhere near them, they melt because swizzles are usually made out of plastic. This is made out of all metal, and it has a reservoir at the top. Why would it have a reservoir at the top? Well, it has a reservoir at the top so that you can fill that reservoir. And if this works appropriately, you have to get the level kind of right on there in order to get this to work. Do that. And you have a lit tiki torch on your... Can you see that? Good. Nope, flame just went out. Oh man. But in general, you can get this to light up and you'll have a flame coming off the top of that. I may have just, that one, the one dropper may not have been enough to get the flames actually going. I'm going to see if I can relight this in case there is still lemon extract in there. Yeah, there we go. There's wind currents in here. I don't know if you can tell that that's there, but there is, in fact, a burning blue flame behind there. I can try and pick this up. Can you see the flame? I'm not sure if you can see the flame. Yeah, you can see the flame. Right there. There you go. One blue flame in a little tiki torch. And you can set that right here. and let that burn out. Or you can pull the torch out of it. So these torches are very cool, but kind of hard to get. The top piece is a solid metal piece, and the bottom piece is a secondary piece of metal. This allows you to pick this up this way, because if you were to wrap fingers around this, this is all now very hot. Don't do that, right? So we're going to set this over here because I have long hair.
Still firing, yeah.
It's still firing, and well, I have long hair and a straw hat, essentially, and both of those are flammable. I'm holding it where there is no flame, flammable thingies. It's still burning. That's pretty tasty. It is very, very spicy in that whole baking spice kind of thing. Can I set this? I can just drop that.
Luke says it looks like you put in a full ounce, not a half of a ounce.
No, I don't.
Okay. I don't know.
Don't think so. Hope not. I mean, it tastes sort of allspicey, drammy, but not as if I'd put a whole ounce in there. So hope not. We can do the review and see, and if it does, then we'll need to. Oh, look, see, you can see the flame.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe.
Yeah, I can see it.
Right there. Yeah, still burning away.
Yeah.
I don't know why it went out the first time. No clue.
That is much more you drink than me.
Yep. It could do with a little more dilution. I think putting some more crushed ice in there would work fine. It's got a lot of hit from the spice, and that's both the allspice dram and
falernum.
Well, and the falernum and the
Right,
6
and the
dashes of
bitters.
the bitters. Yep.
Yeah.
So if you like bitters, yeah. Look, see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That.
I'm going to put my black shirt.
Put the black shirt. Yeah, there you go.
See.
See? Oh, you wanted to blow it out. I was just moving the
Oh,
flame so
okay,
people
sorry,
could
I
see
thought-
it. That's all right. And then if you want to just be, you can always just dump if there's any more lemon extract in there. Yep. Doesn't look like there really is much, so it's probably just what's coating the edges. There's a mesh comb in there, and so that mesh comb is something that will probably have to be replaced over time. And see, we have flame again. So it really doesn't take much lemon extract to keep a tiki torch going. So there you go. We started late, we're ending late, it's late. We have pineapple roasting in the oven upstairs that we need to eat. So we're going to go ahead and do that and sign off. Unfortunately, for all of us, for the weekend, the end is nigh on the weekend, and apparently the end is nigh for both Archipelago and Fuchsia. So shed a little bit of a tear, and we will see you hopefully next week, barring hell and high water. And the week after, we're not sure how that's going to work, because we have some other events that weekend, and we'll need to figure out when we can do a Tiki broadcast, because there's a very good chance that at 7:30 on Sunday we will not be at home.
Right.
So we'll have to figure out
And
something
we
else
won't
to
be
do.
home Saturday, so I
Yeah,
don't
we have
know.
other things on Saturday, so I don't know. We may just do a pre-recorded broadcast and put it up. Who knows? That'll probably be a lot smoother than this. We'll let you know what we're going to do for not next weekend, the weekend after, right?
Right.
Yes, the weekend after. And then sometime after that, we will be in Croatia.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing broadcasts from Croatia. We'll have to figure out what the time differences are and see if that's feasible.
Who knows?
Who knows? You know, I'm not getting up at 2 in the morning in order to broadcast to you guys. Love you, but that's not happening. So, maybe we'll do, I don't know what we'll do. We'll do random postings, yep, and it'll be fun and it'll be enjoyable. But the end is now more than just nigh. The end is actually here. So I'm going to drink some more of this and say goodbye to you all. My gosh, this is a massive mug. I wish you could see this. So there's just like nothing in here. It's just like nothing. And there's much more ice in here than there should be. Anyway, we're talking and talking and talking and talking, and I'm just going to say goodbye now. All right, so goodbye. Bye.